Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the previous video, we had successfully implemented the navigation service for our application, and we had the ability to actually navigate between the different pages of our application. Like clicking on the registered button would actually take us to our registration page. So now in this video, we are going to create our media service, and this media service is going to allow us to actually get files from the device's library and actually access them. And then once we are accessing images from the device's library, the next thing we are going to do is that we're going to actually hook up our image selector to the media service and get an image from the actual device library. So with that said, let's get going. Okay, so to get started, what we're going to do is that inside of our services, we're going to create a new file, and we'll call this file our media service.dart. Once we have our media service.dart file created, we'll import two things. So we'll import the Dart IO package, and we'll also import the actual image picker library that we had actually added as a dependency. So if you haven't added that as a dependency, then inside of your pubspec.yaml file, you're going to add this dependency, which is the image picker. And this is going to allow us to actually have the ability to pick images or access the device library and pick images from there. Okay, so with that done, the next thing we're going to do is that we're going to create our class, and we'll call our class media service. And then, I don't know why I added those. And then we'll have a static media service instance, and this will be equal to media service. And then we'll have just one function inside of this class will be get image from library. So all we would have to do for that is that we'll have a function that would turn a future, and this future would be of type file. And then we'll name this function get image from library. After this, what we're going to do is that we're going to open the function and then define this. So all this function would do is that it's going to return an image picker dot pick image, and then the source is going to be image source dot, and then you can either use the camera or gallery. We'll use the gallery, and then we'll do this, and that's pretty much it. So we can do command save. Okay, so once we have this done, the next thing we have to do, and this step only pertains to iOS, is that we have to go to our iOS folder, and then we have to go to the runner folder, and then inside of there click on our info.plist file. And then inside of our info.plist file, we are required to add 3 entries. So these 3 entries are our NS camera usage description, NS microphone usage description, and NS photo library usage description. So I'm just going to copy these line of code, but what you can do is that you can type them in, or you could copy this from the info.plist file inside of the source code that is provided with this course. And all you're going to do is that you're going to go to the top of your dictionary, and then after here you're going to just paste these 3 things in. And these are the 3 things that we pasted in. So NS, which I'm just going to add a space here to show you. So we added an NS camera users description, and then the string which actually defines why we need this permission. So access device camera, then the NS microphone, and then the string that defines why we need this, and then NS photo library usage description, and then why we require access to the photo library. So with that, you can do command save. For Android, you do not have to do anything. The plugin should work out of the box. And then what I would recommend is that rebuilding the app. So once we have that, what we can do is that close our info.plist file, go back to our registration page, and actually import our media service. So on the top, I'm going to do import /services/media service. Once we have our media service imported, what I'm going to do now is that I am going to go down, and I am going to go down to where we have our actual image selector. So I'm going to go find our image selector widget. So once we have access to our image selector widget, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to wrap our image selector widget inside of a gesture detector. And this way we'll be able to detect gestures on our image selector. So all I'm going to do then is that I'm going to take my container, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put in a gesture detector, then have a child for the gesture detector, and that child would be our container. And then after that, just add the comma, do all command save. And then on the gesture detector, we'll have an on-tap method or an on-tap listener, which would be a function. And then after that, inside of this function, we'll get the file. So firstly, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go to the top again, and I'm going to import the .io package. So input, output, then do command save. And then I'll go back to our image selector widget, and inside of the on-tap function, I'll create a new variable, which will be our image file. So image file. And then this variable would be of type file. So this file type comes from our actual .io import. And then what I'm going to do is that I am going to equate it to our media service .instance .get image from library. But if you leave it here, you're going to see that we get an error saying that this function returns a future. So what we're going to do is that we're going to create our on-tap function into an asynchronous function. And then once we have our on-tap function as an asynchronous function, what we can do is that we can await for this to complete. And once this function gets completed, then the output that we get is going to be saved into our image file. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to call setState. And what are we going to do inside of setState? Well, we'll take this image file and we'll save it inside of a variable that's accessible throughout this class. So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to create a string, or not a string, sorry, a file, and I'll call this image. And then after that, I'm going to go down, and I'm going to, inside of our setState, set up our image equals to our image file, and do Alt-Shift-F command save. So with that, I'm just going to reload the app. I'm going to click on register, and I'm going to click on our actual image selector. So if I click on it, I don't know why we got an error, or we exited, but I'm just going to restart the application. And once I have the application restarted, I'll resume the video. Okay, so now that the build is all done and it's showing up on the device simulator, I'm going to click on the register page, and then I'm going to click on the image selector, and hopefully the image library should pop up. What I'm going to do then is that I'm going to click on all photos, and we should have access to some photos. So I'm going to click on one, and that should have put the image inside of our actual image variable. Okay, so now that we have the ability to actually select an image, now we're going to show that the image is selected by replacing this image with the selected image. So all we have to do for that is that for our image inside of our container, we are going to have a tertiary statement, which will be like, if our image is not equal to null, then we'll do something. And if it is null, then we'll show the actual network image, which is just this dummy image. And what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to have a file image, and then this file image is going to take our image file. And then with that, we should hopefully do just Alt-Shift-F command save. And as soon as we do this, you're going to see that the image actually gets replaced by the image that we had selected. So if I click on this again, I go back, I click on all photos, and I select this image, then the image gets replaced with whatever image we had selected. Okay, so with that, we have successfully implemented the media service inside of our application. We also have the ability now to select an image from the library and actually save that inside of our image variable inside of our registration page. So now in the next video, we are going to work towards actually saving the input from the 3 text fields that we have for our application. So with that, I'm going to end this video here, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.